Now let me tell y'all something about dreams. Listen up, because this is something I found out a long time ago that goes against everything you see in a movie, on TV, or what your great-grandma may have told you when you were a kid. See, dreams don't happen overnight. That ain't how it works. See, they come to you in the daylight. You gots to be awake. Cause baby, you got to run dreams down. See, that chase is where we learn the most about ourselves. To take that extra step, that extra mile, that extra rep. Now look here. You don't never know how long it's gonna take or exactly what it'll look like when you get there. The only thing you know is you can never stop. So, question time. What's your dreams? What's your dream? Are you willing to do what it takes to make that dream a reality? No. See, not while you're sleeping, but every darn day you wake up. Because if it does, good morning. Now give me my darn theme.
What is going on, man? Shout out to everybody that's in the building right now. Appreciate everybody's tuning in. Man, now that the chaos is over, now that it's all the way over, Coach Promise did it 3 straight years in a row with not 1, not 2, but 3 5-stars back to back to back. Man, how many programs can literally go out there and say that they signed a 5-star 3 straight years in a row? How many coaches out there, right? You got your Ohio States, you got your Alabamas, you got your Georgias, you got your Michigans, right? But really, outside of like 6 programs, how many can flat out say that they have signed a 5-star recruit year 1, year 2, and year 3? So, man, shout out to Coach Prime, man, for just getting it done again, getting Jordan Seiden signed on paper, delivering another 5-star. Another 5-star in his 3rd year in a row, man. Travis Hunter, year 1. Kamani McClain, year 2. And Jordan Seiden, year 3. So, man, what a way, man. What a way, man. It's been an up and down week, right? It's been a lot of eventful things going on, a lot of things that, happen. But, hey, we are here, man. The week is over. The signing period is over. This is what the class is. When you look at it, you got 10 postgraduate players coming in, 7 undergraduate players coming in, and 7 signees from the high school. 6 signees from the high school ranks. So, when you look at it, it came out to what it's supposed to be. So, hey, that's what it is, man. We here, man. So let me know, man. How y'all feeling? It's been a chaotic week for everybody in a sense. But man, just appreciate Coach Prime, man, for everything that he does and continue to do. Even through the madness of things that got done behind the scenes and all that blase that happened, we are here. We know what the class looks like. It's signed. Now it's getting ready for the next round of visits to come to Boulder, which would be January 3rd through the 7th, would be the next big recruiting weekend for CU. National Signing Days, February 7th. So that's the next round of signing days for, high school kids. So you never know. CU might pop up with somebody that's going to sign on February 7th. But when you look at things, and everything, the way everything looks out, the next big wave is, who's going to come to campus, January 3rd through the 7th. Who is going to come on campus January 3rd through the 7th? Because there are some players that, like I always told y'all, there are some players playing in ball games that, are going to come on a visit to Colorado. That's really talk to Colorado behind the scenes, things like that. That's not publicly in the transfer portal right now. So there are a lot of things to be played out over these next couple weeks. Players will start coming back on campus in the next couple weeks, and then it's going to be on. then it's going to be on with Coach Mo and the training staff of getting these boys right, getting them ready for spring ball. So, Coach Mo will be the head coach right now. It won't be Coach Prime. It will be Coach Mo. He's going to be the head coach when the boys get back on campus, when they start working out, because you can't have all that direct contact with players during the off season. So that you only get so many hours that you could be with the players, talking to them about certain things. So the training, it's going to be a lot of player-led workouts in a sense, and with Coach Mo. So, Coach Mo, get them in the weight room, but if they want to do anything that's on the field or anything like that, it's going to be a lot of player-led, because the coaches only have so much amount of time that they can spend with them until it's time for spring practice. Then when they get in spring practice, now the coaches can be more hands-on and really working techniques, working drills, doing these things. But everything is lining up. Warren Sapp is officially a coach on the staff. Whenever they want to announce what his role is, what his title is, I'll find out. But he's official. And that's all we need to know. He's official, locked in with CU. He's got the degrees. It's out there in public. The recruiting class is signed. And, anybody we didn't get, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, everything always comes back into a full circle. Some situations ain't going to work out the way they thought it was going to work out. And they took the money and they did what they wanted to do. Whatever that decision came out to be. Everything comes back in a full circle. And you never know who you're going to need. So that's why it's always key, man. The relationships matter. And when you burn that bridge, you better hope everything work out for you. Because if it don't, you're going to be in trouble. So with that being said, there are some kids that, they still have great relationships with Coach Prime that did not choose CU. And there are some players that burn some bridges with Coach Prime. And those kids that burn and those families that burn Coach Prime, they better hope it work out. Because if it don't know what to tell you. It ain't going to be no reaching out to Shador or reaching out to Bucky or reaching out to this player, that player. It ain't going to matter. Once you burn that bridge with Coach Prime, it is a wrap. It is a wrap. So, hey, the players will be back in a couple weeks. They're taking their time off, doing this break, doing whatever they want to do, chill up, get healthy, get ready to go, things like that. But there are a lot of things that's going to come to play over these next few weeks. Recruiting has not stopped for Coach Prime now. It is a dead period, so they can't contact players, but players can always contact them. They can't contact anybody. Now, transfer portal guys is a little bit different, but when you're talking about high school kids, they can't contact them. So there you have it. Hey, what's going on, man?
Scott, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So let me ask you this. So when you say certain people that burn bridges, are we just talking about just like the high school guys, or are we talking about some of the guys who came on the the transfer portal, like recruiting class, like like
I'm
all you
just
guys
I'm
who
just talking I'm just talking in general terms, man. I'm not saying it high school or transfer. I'm just talking in plain general and talk in sense.
So let me ask you this. So there was one player in specifically that I thought that we were gonna get, that for some reason I don't know what ended up happening. Uh, the big tackle from that committed to Oregon. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know if you had any, like, I don't know, thoughts about that, about him just ended up going to Oregon.
Here's what I'm gonna say about any player. Whatever decision they made, a bless them on whatever decision they chose to go with, whether it's with CU or not with CU. At the end of the day, these kids gotta make a decision that's best for them and their family. Whether the parents agree with what the kid did, that's a wholly different another conversation for a different day. What I'm going to tell you is when kids make a decision, it's their decision at the end of the day. They gotta live with it. All I'm saying is you better not have burnt that bridge making the decision that you did, because if something happens at the school that you're at, and things don't go the way you plan it to go, just know, don't come call and see you back.
Interesting.
What's going on, Rob? How you
What's the
doing,
word,
man?
fellas? What up,
Man,
Coach Dre?
hey, I kept missing your live, man, because I've been running, man, just busy. But I'm glad I caught you live this time, man, because man, it's been chaotic. It's been crazy. Uh, but um, honestly, man, I didn't think like with Jordan Seaton's situation, I didn't think he was going anywhere. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was going anywhere at all because I really did believe that he was toying with all the other schools like Maryland or Oregon. I really do believe that's what he was doing, to work in his favor, to be honest with you. And I think Coach Prime warned him. He's like, Maryland coming after you now that you made this commit, right? They're gonna come after you.
Wait,
You know
wait,
they
hold
gonna
on.
you know what
To
I
be
mean?
fair, to be fair, Maryland has been recruiting him. I just learned this that Maryland has been recruiting him since he was like just coming into a freshman in high school. They've been like the number one team that has been recruiting him since the very beginning. So the whole
Right,
Maryland thing, that's why there was so much merit with Maryland because it was like that's the team that's been with you before anybody wanted you. Just
right.
yeah, that was
Now
the
you remember he was on Undisputed and he had said, why would you not want to come play for somebody that looks like you? Remember that? Remember he said that on
The
there?
Maryland coaches plaque.
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's probably why Coach was like, hey, he finna, they finna come after you hard now. They finna try to throw everything they can at you for you to come to Maryland now, especially after what you just said on live television. Because he gonna be like, well, wait a minute, I'm black. What you talking about? I'm a black coach. We got an all black staff. We making we didn't do such a bad job in the Big Ten this year. If you come with us, you gonna make us even better. So so I really do believe Coach Prime warned them ahead of time, like, hey, they finna go in deeper now, to try to convince you to flip.
Nah, it was some nasty games though, because he said that they were recruiting him harder once he did that to try to spite Coach Brown, which is that's nasty work within itself. That you see him, do that on that type of platform, and you think, what better way can I stick it to Coach Brown than to get a guy who's supposedly 110% all in and getting him to flip.
Right.
That's nasty. That is
It
nasty
is.
work.
It is, but it's all part of the game of recruiting. I understand that. It's like, you know, you gonna schools are gonna do anything to get the number one offensive lineman in the country, especially Maryland, being that that's a hometown kid. He's from Washington D.C., so they gonna be as nasty as they can be to get him. Yeah, that's all part of the game.
I don't even think it was them though. You know who I think it? Not fact, not who I think. I know it was Oregon. I I I just
Oregon,
I just know it was Dan Lanning. I don't care what nobody tells me. Cause once I saw supposedly that there was a home visit right after he committed, and they said supposedly that it was like a secret because he came out and said that he didn't have no more visits, but there was a in-home visit with Dan Lanning. I just know it was him.
mm.
Nobody could tell me different. I know it was Dan Lanning.
Yeah, that landed
Me
ever
too.
since I heard that speech. Ever since I heard that speech, I'm just like, what is your vendetta, man? What's wrong with you, man? What you got against
Jealousy.
Coach Prime? Like,
It's jealousy, man.
Listen.
yeah, I talking about some they play for clicks and we play out on the field and yada yada
All right.
yada.
So listen, when it comes down to this whole Jordan Season thing, it played out the way it was supposed to play out. The
Right,
whole truth of the matter in the situation was Jordan Seaton just played the situation to see what these coaches truly had to say about Prime and what limit they would go to and what didn't better or what they didn't like about Coach Prime and what they would say. The whole time he was already locked in, sealed, delivered. It was just blowing everything up just to see how everybody would take things in what way, what shape, and what backlash that these coaches would do just to get Jordan Seaton. The whole
I
time
I
they already
I
knew what was
said
up.
that too, Rob. I said that.
How
And I
how much
like it.
how much money
I
do y'all
like it.
think, money do y'all think that was his highest offer? Like how much?
It wasn't, but here's the thing: it wasn't about the money. It was about what was the recruiting taxes that people. So y'all gotta understand this, right? At the end of the day, it's a business, and if you got a high profile recruit in your building, and these other coaches are calling him while he's there, or you in his presence, these other coaches calling, disrespecting a coach and using recruiting tactics, and the coaches on the other side of that phone, and they hearing what they doing. Guess what? Prime is going to be 3 steps ahead of you because he heard the BS of what you're doing and how you're talking bad about him. Because Prime don't come out publicly talking bad about players or on doing those type of things. But when these other coaches do it and you're hearing it firsthand while recruiters around you, then that's where everything goes to part.
See, but
And,
that's why
and
I'm
I
saying,
love it.
because it worked. Like the negative recruiting that some of the coaches and even some of the media like painted against Coach Prime was that he wasn't going to be there in 2025, and whether you could say oh obviously it was a lie, it worked to some degree because some kids wasn't even thinking about Colorado because they're like, oh damn, he's probably gonna leave after Shador leaves, he's probably gonna leave.
But that's just a narrative that's being created because that's what the media wants. When all things break down, they knew Coach Prime wasn't gonna leave because they wasn't gonna let Shador and Charles be, eligible wherever they went. Right? That would have been a big fight with the NCAA. So the only narrative that you can really create in that situation is after Shador leaves, after Travis leaves. Now what is Coach Prime gonna do? And so when you look at those type of things, anybody that came in last year's class hasn't left. CU that was recruited by Coach Prime.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say
So
yes
if
because the spring we gonna see in the spring.
so with that being said, now if people were starting to leave from his last year's freshman class that he recruited personally that he wanted left, then yeah, you probably can be like, all right, Coach Prime might be on the move because they know something, right? One thing about it, kids are going to tell what's going to happen before it happens. Kids are going to start making moves based on what happened. You could tell how these kids, what was going on, who was attacking them, right? When you look at Oregon, every time that CU got in contact with them, Oregon got in contact with them. And it was all because they just didn't want the kid to go to Colorado, which is fine, right? There are a number of coaches out there that will just literally pay a kid for them not to go to Colorado because they see what's happening. They see how this thing is going. What they don't want Coach Brown to be at the top of the mountain because if he's at the top of the mountain, ain't no coming back.
I
That's why
agree.
they didn't like that the undisputed Jordan Seaton getting up there talking about why not come play with a coach that look like you. You know what I mean? If you say you're a dog, all that they didn't like that. They hated that so much. That's why whenever they play back that episode or they read out that quote, they never say that part. Or they say it with with a hard swallow.
Hmm. I agree. And also to add on top of that, it's all part of the game, man. I understand that it's nothing illegal about it, but the fact that you're willing to do all this to try to sabotage Coach Prime and what he's doing in Colorado, I'm glad it got exposed. I'm glad it got exposed
But
that
see,
that they
here's the
do
thing
that.
though. When it all come down to it, the person that loses in the situation is the recruit.
Hmm.
Facts. Facts.
Hmm.
That's the person that loses
Yeah.
because it's a grown man hating on another grown man to get a kid, and the kid is the one who's gonna lose. Yes, the kid might have got this check, but that check ain't sustainable. It's not residual
Nope.
because it's still gonna be based upon performance. So
Hmm.
I could pay you 100,000 not to go sign with this school, but that's one check. You know how fast that 100,000 can go when mom needs something, when dad needs something, when grandma needs something, when auntie or uncle needs something, and then on top of that, your boys. they just leeching on for the ride, the 100,000 gonna be gone. Then what?
Gone.
Shout out to Bedford. I want to
And
see.
that's even
I
if
want
you
to
got
scratch.
a that's and to be honest, that's even if you got 100,000. They might have just gave you 50,000 or 25,000.
You
Chump
gotta be
change.
And then
you gotta be a
by the
big
time all
dog.
that money's gonna be gone. So in the end, what truly happened was, yes, they paid you not to come to Colorado, but they didn't say that you was gonna start, you ain't gonna play, you ain't gonna do this. They just paid you not to go there, just to make sure that you didn't help them start create this new wave. That's all it's about. But in the end, it's gonna come to a full circle because once these kids realize, dang man, these coaches paying us and we ain't playing, we ain't performing, they don't really care about us. Guess what's gonna happen? Kids gonna be back in the transfer portal. That's gonna be what's gonna happen. And you better hope
And,
that you better hope that you have more than 1 year before you go make a decision like that.
and like you said earlier, Rob, just to quote you, be careful not to burn that bridge. Be careful not to burn that bridge because you may not be able to go back.
And then if
Because
they
like
should
you
really
said,
sit back and my bad, go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, Coach Dre. I'll go ahead, Big LT. Go ahead. You go, Big LT.
And then, like you said, man, if they sit back and really just look at the big picture, man, why is all these coaches constantly talking about Coach Prime and talking down on what he got going on? Even if, all right, just like your father and your uncle and everybody else you know in your household, y'all say it's like a family household up there. You know everybody got their own issues and nobody's perfect. But why is it for some reason everybody is pulling and trying to rip and tear this man down like that, man? It gotta be a reason for what they reason they don't want me, my partner, or the other homie from the other 7-on-7 squad not to go over there.
There's one big
Why is
reason.
it
There is one big reason though that I feel like certain people kind of look over. A lot of coaches in the coaching fraternity kind of don't like how fast he got there, and that's where a lot of the venomous hate is coming from. And you hear a lot of coaches talk about it, like when they see certain coaches just get elevated to like basically a head coaching job at a P5 when he didn't have to kind of go through the ringer like some coaches did. You're gonna see so many coaches, especially the lower level ones, especially the Jay Norvells and people like that. You're gonna see so many of those type of coaches take so many unnecessary shots because they think that it just got handed to them.
oh, you talk about Mister, I take my hat and my glasses off when I'm in front of companies. That's what my mama taught me. Yeah, look at him now. Didn't he
But
lose some players too?
I
Oh
mean,
my,
everybody
oh
gonna
my,
use.
his roster got gutted. His roster is just getting attacked by just bigger schools with more money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but that's you said you
and
really
and and re- and that's all
So
thanks to Prime. If they wouldn't have played so good in that game against CU, people they wouldn't have got their eyes noticed on them.
go
Damn,
ahead, Coach.
Dang.
damn.
Go ahead,
Dang,
Coach Dre.
that's true though. That's
Go ahead, Coach Dre.
But yeah, I mean, he hit the nail on the head for a lot of coaches like Dan Landy, like any of those coaches who had to work their way up the ranks. The way Prime went about it, again, anything he does is not what you consider logical or the way things happen. It's a lot of coaches that don't coach 20, 30 years that haven't had the opportunity to be a head coach. So some of these coaches are envious because, oh, I had to be a grad assistant and I worked my way up to be a coordinator and then I got a head coaching job. Well, Prime didn't do that. So it's like, what makes him so better than us that we can't do that? But we can say the same thing about black coaches. There's a lot of black coaches that don't get the opportunities that a lot of white coaches get. A lot of white coaches get chances to mess up and still get to come back. Black coaches mess up. That's the end
facts.
for them. That's the end for him. I don't think Mel Tucker will ever be a head coach again. But Stark messed up. He got to be a head coach again. Lane Kiffin messed up. He got to be a head coach again. So that's what it all boils down to.
That shit is
Mm-hmm.
Urban Meyer,
wash and repeat.
case example, Urban Meyer. They begging
Wash,
for him to come back, but he
wash and
got a whole
repeat.
strip club.
You know how many of these coaches they just wash and repeat like over and over again. And it's even nastier. Like it's bad in NCAA, but in the NFL, oh my God, they wash and repeat the same coaches. The same coaches get fired, rehired, fired, rehired, and then yeah, like Someone said Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is going to be coaching at some major top 10
I'm
program
telling you, man.
within the
There,
next 2 years.
it's a process. You're right. I'm sorry, brother, but it's a process right now. I can feel it. I don't know no back information. I just have a feeling that there's a process right now. They're looking for a candidate coach to outdo Prime. Somebody that's going to be able to outshine Prime and take their attention away. Somebody that's going to be able to, hey, I'm just saying, man.
Well, we know for a fact he turned down at least one job this year. That they told him he could get whatever he wanted. He just turned it down. So
Yep.
he had the opportunity to be Urban Meyer had the opportunity to be a head coach again this year if he wanted to be.
Where?
Uh,
For example, Michigan State.
right. I mean that's the school we talking about. I mean y'all said I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
gonna say it, but that's the school. He
Mm-hmm.
could have been the Michigan State head coach. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He could have
Uh,
been the Michigan State
Facts.
head.
I thought you were
True
talking about.
facts.
I thought you were talking about Texas A&M because his name came up. And
No, he flat out turned the Michigan State job down.
he
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 didn't
what?
just
get whatever
flat
he wanted.
he flat up and down turned the Michigan State job down. Before they even, I think the Oregon State coach was probably their second guy, but Urban Meyer was their first guy. But what happened was they were just like anything. When you got a hot coach like Urban Meyer, you try to keep that on the low. So they tried to keep it on the low. But once it came out, because Urban has come out and said he didn't want to coach no more and all this other stuff. Once it willing to take an interview and go talk to somebody, now everybody else was opening. So now you're right. He might be waiting on the next big job to open up to take the job because now people know you want to coach.
I believe it.
That man can recruit his ass off. Urban Meyer, man, when he was at Ohio State, man, he could recruit his ass off, man. But I don't know,
Well,
man.
the reason people like Urban Meyer because Urban Meyer real. He give it to you. He give it to you uncut and unadulterated. And he don't cut no corners with you. He talk to you like that's why people ask me why I call him the thug. Because I mean, he talked to him like, hey, that's what it is. If y'all don't get it, y'all don't get it. Like if you go watch the documentary about Florida, he shows you that if you a stud player, this how we treat you. If you ain't a stud player, this how we treat you. Like it ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Ain't no running around the object. This how you get treated. If you a good player, this how you get treated if you an average player.
I
I
ain't mad
agree.
at it. I ain't mad at it. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, Rob, can I ask you something real quick, man?
But
Okay, the way this is going, right? It's crazy how we have this many players already, and Coach Prime's not done yet. So this is my question to you. Okay, I know it's too early, but I'm just a little curious. How do you think this offseason is gonna go? Do you see a lot of people? Not a lot of people, but do you see a couple players leaving, or do you see everybody staying after the spring game? That's my question. There we go.
you're gonna have nutrition no matter what because everybody thinks that hey, I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be doing that, and when you get to spring ball, you're gonna find out where you really stand at going into the summertime. So with that being said, you're gonna have some nutrition. They're gonna still have another. There's another window of the transfer portal that's gonna open up after the spring. So think about it like this, right? If you're any SEC player that transfers out, you can't go to a SEC school, right? You think
Yeah.
Prime ain't gonna be trying to attack those SEC players?
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yes.
especially if it's somebody that's gonna be an upgrade to what they don't have on the roster. So then Prime, they're gonna tell you, these coaches the position. One of the things I like about right now is Coach Prime was honest and said, listen, I wasn't as hands on I need to be last year. Well now that page is turned. If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down my way, doing it my way. And so now we gonna see how much hands-on Coach Prime really is. Because now he went out and said it, put it on record. When I told everybody, hey, Coach Prime ain't the one who making these decisions. He let his coaches make these decisions. And when he come out and say it, now everybody like, oh.
That's
But
right.
I
He
told I
said that,
told you that from
and
the
the Steve.
get-go.
Yep, yep. You did,
I
because he
told you that
said
from
it
the
in the
get-go.
Stephen A. Yep.
But now here we are, right? So now
Right.
with Coach Prime being hands-on, Now that he's gonna be making the decisions for
Mm-hmm.
the roster construction and position, now he ain't letting you bring in who you want to bring in. Now it's got to be signed off on. Hey, listen, if they can't come in and contribute and help us and really be true depth pieces, then why do we need them? Yes,
Facts.
I allowed you to bring in who you wanted because we needed bodies, but now we don't need body. We need quality. And that's the where we get to now is who's gonna bring the quality. If you're not a starter from where you at and you're not a real major contributor, then why do we need you?
Right.
So
Right. And
now, Coach Prime, he's learned from his mistakes, and now we're gonna see what this year comes about. And so when you
right.
look at are there gonna be players leaving? The ultimate answer is yes. Because there's gonna be some kids think they're better than some kids that ain't put the work in, and they're gonna be out of there. And it's gonna happen. And Coach Prime are gonna bring in probably somebody that's starting or somebody that's supposed to be a major contributor at a different school, and that's gonna come to see. That's just what's gonna happen.
Right.
And,
Well,
and
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
now go ahead, brother.
No, I was just gonna ask this because I do believe there are gonna be some players from last year that are gonna leave on their own. I guess my question was if there are gonna be players that he's going to let go himself. That's my question. That's what I was trying to ask.
Willie Gaines.
I
Oh
I'm
I
not.
no.
think
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna say no player's name on that type of part or anything like that. What
Okay.
I will say is, if you don't come out and prove yourself, there's gonna be a conversation that's gonna be had, and now it's gonna be
Okay.
up to you how you take the conversation.
Okay.
Man,
There we
man.
go.
and
Appreciate you, Rob. I
and you
appreciate that.
and then you people a lot of people gotta look at. I know everybody, they crying about the number of high school recruits Prime brought in there, but a lot of people gotta look at, man. A lot of them transfers he brought in are either red shirt freshmen, red shirt sophomores. They got like 3 years, 2 years of eligibility. You know what I mean? And plus, them guys are proven. If they seeking NIL deals, that you're able to give it to them without no sweat or no second thought. A lot of them high school kids that's coming in asking for this big change, big money. They not proving it. You don't know what they can do or what they objectives are. You know what I mean? Them high school kids, them guys that got 1, 2, 3 years left. Them guys is hungry, man. They ready to get to the next level.
Hey, Big LT, you in
And,
Texas, right? I know you are, but I just for the
yeah,
fan, you in Texas, right? How many high
yes,
school
sir.
players did Texas A&M sign?
Man, I don't think they signed that many, man.
I'm just asking, right? Because the media don't bring up about how many players Texas A&M sign.
And
They
they
worried
won't.
about how many, but they worried about how many players Colorado signed.
It was like 10, 18.
No, it was less than 10.
It
But
was definitely less than 10. I mean, again, this I think a lot of people got wrapped up in this wasn't National Signing Day. This was early National Signing Day, which meant most of these kids that signed Wednesday through Friday, they're planning on going to school in January. So when these colleges go back to school right now, most colleges are on break. But when these schools uh, fire back up, a lot of these kids will be going to school after, you know what I'm saying, when that come back. Now the official National Signing Day and what you consider when you consider everything that you got is in February. February, I think you said 7th, Rob, earlier. I think you
yeah,
said
it's
that's when it
February
was.
7th. Yeah.
So that's when you will know. But the biggest thing is because things were said, i.e., it was gonna be this and it was gonna be that, and it didn't happen that way. Uh, I put it to the this the way I'm gonna put it. It's like you telling somebody you're gonna get them a present, right? And you got every intention of getting them a present, or that's what was gonna happen. But you get to the store and the store don't got it, or the person at the store told you, "Hey, we got this." You get there and they didn't have it. That's the equivalent of some of the stuff that went on this week. And there's no, like I say, it's no knock on no kids because they kids and they making, you know, decisions that they feel is best for them. But I heard Rob say, don't burn your bridge, and that's for anybody. Don't burn your bridge trying to make a decision. If you say you want to be at one place, just go to that one place because there is the transfer portal. So you can go there 1 year, realize, hey, I might have made a mistake, and go somewhere else. But
Yeah,
there's no
just don't
need.
like. Oh, go ahead. I'm
There,
sorry.
yeah, there's no need to do the other stuff because the other stuff is what gets people in trouble. That you burn bridges with people. Like I know everybody think they got connections, but I don't think nobody got connections like Prime. You know, maybe Nick Saban, maybe Kirby Smart, and guys like that. Uh, but to do the stuff, some of the stuff that some of these coaches are doing, they're not doing it to one another. They're doing it because they don't want college football to become where everybody's looking for the next big thing to be the head coach. And now it's other coaches that's been in the ranks that's being looked over because it's a lot of former NFL players that want to be head coaches, guys. It's a lot of them out there. It's
And
a
it's
lot of
time to move. And it's time to move college football into the future, man. It's 2023. All that old school stuff, 1990 to early 2000 era, that's gone, man. It's time to put new faces. It's time to put new entertainment into the sport and bring new eyes to the sport. Look at all the new eyes Prime brought to the sport just this year. The I think the industry wise, as far as like the TV people, they want this new stuff to go on because that's lacing their pockets. It's the old heads, what was they calling them? The
blue
coach, what was
bloods.
that word that they was calling? The blue bloods. But no, it was hey, I forgot the word that they was using to call
Dinosaurs?
the not whatever it was. It's them. There's ones that you know what I mean. That's really got a stronghold of the sport and of the
And
college football. It's them that don't
Oh,
want to
you
change.
mean the old whites?
Yeah, I mean whatever you want to call them,
hey,
but
listen,
they not ready to change, man. They don't want to change it, you know.
for those who missed this, if you're an SEC player in the spring and you transfer, you cannot transfer to another SEC school. You can, but you're gonna sit out. You're not gonna play
Yeah, you can.
because
You gonna have to
that
sit
is
out
a
the whole.
rule in the
Yeah,
SEC.
that's a rule in the SEC. If you transfer and then you try to transfer to another SEC school, you will have to sit out. You will not play this
Sit
year.
out how long? Sit out a year?
So
Say
say
again.
let's
You
so
said sit out how long?
if you transfer to an SEC school, like okay, so let's use Upshaw last year. Upshaw transferred to Colorado, right? But let's just say he would have transferred to Alabama. And then after the spring, he'd have wanted to transfer to Arkansas or Auburn or Florida. They'd have let him transfer, but he wouldn't have been able to play. You
What?
see,
Why?
Okay.
Because of the SEC rule?
that's the
Yes,
SEC rule, not a
yeah,
it's SEC rule.
it's not an NCAA rule. It's the SEC rule. SEC rule will not allow you to, because what would happen is the reason why they do this is say you at the bottom half of the SEC, right, and you got top tier talent, but you're not gonna have a bad season. They're not gonna let you transfer out of that bad team to a better team in the SEC. They're gonna force you to transfer out of the SEC completely, unless you want to sit out a year.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the SEC
But it's
commissioner was ahead of that.
but it's only during the springtime. Like if a kid wants to transfer from the SEC and go to SEC school now, they need to transfer before this window closes. When they go into the spring, only this is only for the springtime for the SEC. Only during the spring window and the transfer rule, you cannot transfer from SEC school to SEC school. Only in the springtime. During the wintertime, it's they let it happen due to the fact of you're able to replace players and do the things that you need to do. But when it's springtime, there's less of a window for you to replace probably the talent that you're gonna miss. So that's why they don't allow you to transfer from the SEC to the SEC in the springtime. So I just want to clarify that for people that don't know the rule.
That's important. That's important because that's one of those little underlining rules that like let's just say someone from the portal, like someone goes from Georgia to Kentucky, but then they only have 1 year left, but then in the spring they don't really like where they're at. Then that forces them to go to either the ACC or the Big 12 or the Big 10. Hmm, that's interesting.
Yes,
Like I
correct. He
said,
did, but he look at the window. He did it in the winter window, not the spring window. That is a complete difference. They're not gonna allow you to do that in the spring window. In the winter window, like because the players got 5 days after the national signing day to get into the portal. When they do that, then they can go to an SEC school. But if they wait until the spring, they won't be allowed to do
dang. Okay, okay, makes sense.
You know what's
That
funny
makes
though?
sense.
I think we'll pick up whether it's before the spring or maybe after the spring. I think we'll pick up about 10 to 15 guys.
Hmm.
10 to 15. That seems like a pretty good number.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to look at the number of kids that's still there, and the number of kids that might leave. Like you say, it still might be some kids that after the spring they might feel like they're not where they need to be at on the depth chart or where they could be on the depth chart, and they might get up and leave. So
it.
we never
You
know.
might get some that get homesick, man. Or you might get somebody that's poaching them some money and say you can come play here. You
But
know what I
see,
But
mean?
this
but
But that's only good though because that's gonna bring in the ones that want to come over there and experience that. That's getting out of them bowl games.
but
here's
that's the thing. Go ahead, Rob.
what I was gonna say is there are still kids on the roster that still has some decisions to make. Whether they're graduating to transfer out, that still decision still needs to be in play. If somebody's leaving to say they want to go professional, it's still the decision. Or if somebody's holding a roster spot for somebody else that's coming in transfer portal, there's still some decisions to be made on Colorado's roster. So it definitely ain't done.
Right. Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's a win-win situation either way it go.
Oh, it's definitely a win-win. I don't think you can lose. I just think right now when you look at our roster and you look at the kids that we did bring in, it was in the spots that we needed. Um, Also, we still got some other kids out there that can commit over this last little time right here so they can get to school in January. Some defensive linemen and things of that nature. So
Yeah,
we still in the window to get some stuff that we need.
yeah. We there's still a window like January 3rd through the 7th where transfer portal kids can come on campus and sign before school starts. Because you have to do it
And I,
before the official school starts. So there's a window in January, January 3rd through the 7th, where transfer kids can transfer and go on a visit to a school and sign before classes start to be enrolled.
and I don't I still not counting out what's the name McClendon, the D tackle from Florida from the Gators. I'm still
yeah, I
not
mean
counting him.
we
I still think he coming.
yeah we don't definitely not count him out. It's just like I say. The thing is his coach got a new job. Uh, he a great recruiter. That's why you saw the kid Kendall Jackson flip from uh,
South
he flipped from
Carolina.
Florida. He's flipped from
Uh,
Florida to Miami, and then he flipped from Miami to Texas A&M because the guy that was recruiting him, he got the job at Texas A&M. So Texas A&M is pushing hard to try to get him to come up there and try to reconnect with his coach because that's the guy that's been coaching him. But I think we still got great chance to land him. I hope we get the. I
Right.
also hope we get the kid defensive lineman from Houston. And
Jamari Caldwell.
Okay. But I got a question. What does that mean for Shane Cox and Bishop Thomas?
They can
I
go back to
think
their regular position.
Shane Coates is going. I think he's going to declare for the draft
No, no, no,
because
no,
it's
no.
not going. I don't see no playing time for Shane Coates. And then
Shane is
Bishop
playing.
Thomas. Bishop Thomas is more than just a defensive tackle. He's an athlete, man. You can really make Bishop Thomas like a what's that cat that
Fullback,
fullback
right?
for Baltimore? Um,
Or the
But
fullback from 49ers, Ryan Juszczyk.
you said what's that guy from Baltimore? That big 300 pounder. He three
I
hundred
for,
pounds.
dang,
What's his
300?
name
Uh,
I
for
know,
Baltimore
it's
Ravens?
not coming to mind. That's
Number
I know.
okay.
42.
Yeah, there you. Okay, yep. Okay, I know you talking about. I know you talking about. Okay,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
I
I
know you
can't
talking
remember his
about.
name right now, but that's Bishop
Yeah,
Thomas. He's athletic enough to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
He can play
Right.
both.
Because I'm
Do
thinking
either
I'm like,
wherever you need him to play. Sometimes on defense, you know what I
right.
mean, to release some guys on the line, and then bring him in on offense to do he got a package when he
Yo,
need it.
Right.
I think he gonna
Right.
be
Yeah.
Bishop gonna be all right. I don't think Shane's gonna
Okay.
declare for the NFL. I just think he's going. It's his job to lose. That's how I put it this morning when somebody asked that question. It's his job. Like, ain't when you send the first team out there in the spring, Shane Coach gonna be on that team right now. So it's gonna be your job to lose. So if you go out there and you don't perform or you don't play, then that's how you get your job taken. But I think it's gonna be his job to lose. I think they're gonna give him every chance because he's another kid
you know,
that's gonna do everything right. He gonna do everything right. He gonna do everything right. So it's
Right.
gonna be his job. It's gonna be his
you know what
job
I
to
see with
lose.
Shane Coates?
Say that again.
Shane Coates. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Go
me?
for it. Go for
Yes,
it.
sir.
Shane Coates was playing out of position all year. All year. He's not a nose. And I think that with some of the additions we have, they can finally move him back to end, and maybe he can see some success at a defensive end. But I mean, if I'm being honest, there was only one bright spot that's coming back from that defensive line last year, and that was Amari McNeil. Amari McNeil,
Facts.
he was a really big bright spot for them last year.
Right. But
Agreed. Agreed.
before you say that, right? There are some people that redshirted last year that you didn't see. So now when people talk about development, right? If somebody comes out and explodes this year, y'all gotta get credit what credit is due because y'all didn't see him on the field last year and they redshirt and they came in and they took off this year. That's a part of development.
From the
And
D
that's
line.
what people can't forget about.
Yeah, McCoy. McCoy didn't he redshirted
Yeah,
Contract.
From
McCoy red.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah. The dude
That
McCoy.
boy,
Yeah,
that
he
boy
can
can
play.
play, man. That's who they
Yeah,
was raving about too. At practice a lot. He just,
and that's
they
why.
redshirted little daddy.
And
See,
that's why I keep telling y'all about the linebackers. I know a lot of people saying why we ain't winning got linebackers. Well, right now our linebacker room is full because Bentley's still there. You got Kennedy. Right. As of right now, I'm still saying Trevor Woods a linebacker until somebody tell me something different. Um, but the freshmen that got redshirted, Victory Johnson and that kid from England, they're ranting and raving about these kids. And then you did go out and get Ward. So right now our linebacker room is a little full. So if you would
You said
grab
they
Trevor,
got who? My bad, coach. You said they
they,
got
they,
who?
they got the kid,
Coffee Barracks. Coffee Barracks, the British dude.
No, I'm talking about you
Uh,
said they went out and got Ward. Who Ward?
one of the twins, one of RJ dudes.
oh
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. But I thought he was more like an edge though.
I mean, yeah, but he still gonna be considered a linebacker. What I'm saying is, it depends on
Okay.
what defense we finna play. On it still depends on what defense we gonna play. But the linebacker room is really loaded. I see, like I say, we probably 2 to 3 deep. And if ain't nobody going nowhere, and you talk about bringing somebody else in, well, what we doing?
Yeah, I don't see no problem with the linebacker room. I like
Time
that
out.
linebacker room to be
Wait,
honest.
Me
hold on.
too. Me too.
I disagree. Whoa, wholeheartedly. Whoa. Wait, when you say that we don't need to bring nobody in that linebacking, see,
I didn't say we didn't need to bring anybody in. I say somebody need to leave because the linebacker room right now is full, and I say they ranting and raving about the 2 kids that we didn't see play last year.
okay, fair enough. But this is my case in point here. 2024 is basically the all-in season. 2024 is basically Tom Brady, Tampa, like it's like they're going all in, right? They're going all in on this season. I am almost 99% sure they're not gonna put in and they're going to trust freshmen who haven't seen the field with a season who, first of all, this is Shador's last season, Travis's last season. They're going to go out and get people with production and proven production on that field. They're not gonna, they can say whatever they want about how good Victory Johnson has been in practice, how good Tajay McCoy has been in practice. That is just fluff. That is, I don't listen to, sometimes you can't listen to those type of things when they say that, because then they'll turn
What
around
what
and get
when you
20
say when you
catches.
say it's fluff, well, what I'm telling you is it's not just coming from people that's watching. They're saying the kids are saying these kids Like these kids are really playing. But you also got. So what I'm telling you is right now, you said Tyler Barrett, we said Barracks, Johnson, Bentley ain't said he leaving or what he doing. You still got DeMoy Kennedy. As of right now, I don't know if Juju on the team or not, so I can't speak on that.
Nah,
Juju's
he's
out.
gone.
Juju's
Juju's
out.
gone.
Okay,
He doesn't
okay.
have any eligibility.
And the Moy played pretty
Wait, who's
good
gone?
at the end of the
Who's gone?
season.
Juju's gone. He doesn't have any
Okay,
eligibility.
Again,
Juju gone. Okay.
again, I don't know what they're doing with Trevor Woods right now. So the last thing I saw him play linebacker. So I'm gonna just put him in the linebacker room right now. Um, So and then I just told you they got Ward. So what I'm asking, all I'm telling you is, I'm not saying that I'm satisfied with the linebacker room. I'm just saying it's full, and you're gonna have to open. Somebody gonna have to leave. Some space got to get open because right now I don't feel like there's no space there for nobody to come in. You get what I'm saying, like that.
You
But
almost
that's what I'm.
I think it's
Right.
room for.
Okay.
I think it's room. I'll say this. I think it is room for one more linebacker to come in, and whoever that linebacker is got to go out and be a flat out dog. They can go sideline, and just chase everything down. I think we will have a linebacker come. We will go. We are going to go get a linebacker. Prime want two of them, so that's telling you something. If he's saying that he want two linebackers, it's telling you something. All right. We do got one. We got room for one because one did go out. In the linebacker room. Marvin Ham. So
Yeah, he transferred.
they're going to add at least two to that room.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing, Rob. At least one or two. And I was thinking they were coming out after the bowl game things were taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing, old school?
I
Hey,
mean,
what's going on?
listen,
I'm sorry for coming on like that. What's going on, panel? What's going on, Rob? How it be, Rob? Almost Happy New Year's.
yes, almost New Year's. But I'll say this: the linebacker could not be playing right now, and he could be in the transfer portal, and he could be getting ready to play in the bowl game.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
got to just wait and see.
Okay. I feel like DeMoy's gonna have more playing time next year. I really do. I feel like
too.
DeMoy Kennedy's gonna play more.
Yes,
That's
Is he gonna
sir.
be
I
healthy?
believe so as
Is he gonna
well.
be
Yeah, I
healthy?
think he started to get healthy towards the end of the year. Again, I think him and McCaskill was on the same kind of. I think Prime was on the same kind of playing with DeMoy Kennedy and McCaskill. In my mind, is that we played them a little bit. I didn't see that. I don't think they're healthy enough to and I'm not gonna risk these kids' career because I think they got a professional career. I want them to be healthy. So I do agree. I think DeMoy Kennedy is gonna be on the field this year. This kid
You're
Ward is
right,
coming
coach.
from
Hey, I agree.
the
Hey,
kid Ward. The kid Ward coming from the SEC, I think he can play. And again, until I'm showing something wrong, I'm gonna give Victory Johnson and Barracks the benefit of the doubt. Again, I get what you're saying that we haven't seen them play, but I've heard nobody say that. All I heard is they had to slow Victory Johnson down in practice. Like,
oh,
hey,
man.
bro, you got to slow down a little bit, man. You bring it just a little bit too hard. So if that kid is what people saying he is, then I feel good going in. And then again, Bentley hasn't told y'all he gonna leave, so I'm thinking he coming back. So I don't know.
Yeah. It'd be good, too, if he come back, because that's competition. Hey, Rob, going off what Coach just said, hey, Rob, who did I tell you my favorite players was, Rob? Go ahead, Rob. Tell everybody. Tell the world, Rob.
22 black, 22 white.
Well, I'll tell you, boy, it takes you long. How long did it take you long to catch on to that, Rob? I'm telling you. I'm half blind, Rob. I saw that.
I think I agree with Coach because I'm gonna go with the guys that I can trust right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been there. I've already had them a year. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what these new guys gonna bring in yet.
But see, here's the thing: they
Yeah.
go out and ball, right? Now this whole thing of Prime can't develop kids and all this that goes out the window because y'all seeing
Fact.
kids come in
Yep.
4 year red shirt, get their bodies right, and go out there and do their thing. You can't say Prime them ain't developing nobody because that's a product of development.
Yeah, I agree. They is.
Oh yeah.
All I'm saying is that for listen, for everything that y'all saying would hold true any other season if this was not Shador's last season. If this was not Shador's last season,
But you
everything you're
can't
saying would hold true. The fact that this is
just
his
because it's
last season,
Shador last season. Hold on, let me say this. Just because it's Shador last season, you can't discredit the development.
No. That's not what I said. I said because it's his last season. You're not banking on development. You're not doing that. You're not
But
gonna
see,
bank on development.
here's what I'm telling you, right? You're saying like if you left the linebacker room alone, right, and these kids go out, you can't say that they shouldn't play because they should do it last season. Is what I'm saying. Because that's what like you're basically saying. Well, you can't use a development piece because you do it last season. Well, if they're better than what's on the field of the product, that's what it is.
But hold on, let me ask him a question. I'm just asking you a question, bro. So what you're saying is you rather go out there with what we saw last year? I'm asking. I'm not telling you that's what you're saying. I'm asking you, is that what you're saying?
Ask me that question again.
Are you saying you feel comfortable going back out there with what we went out there that showed us last year? Or you just
I'm
saying we need it?
I'm
Or
saying
you
I'm saying the complete opposite.
okay? Go ahead.
What
I'm
he's
saying
saying is he
the
wants them to bring
complete
in
opposite.
a veteran linebacker coach from a a transfer in and
I'm not
bring it
saying
to
that
the
we don't. I don't. I think we do need one of those. I'm just telling you that right now the linebacker room is full, and I don't like. I don't. I don't care if we go get somebody else and these guys sit the bench. I do not want to stop the growth of Victory Johnson and Barrett
me
to bring
neither, man. I
somebody
think
in.
I think that's gonna look good.
I think we get lost in that. You know what I'm saying? Now I get what you're saying that we all in on Shador last season, but if if I bring you in and you good or the same as this freshman, who should I play?
What
Listen.
I what
I
I'm
don't.
saying is you got kids who have they're already in your system, right? They've been there a year, right? You've got guys coming in, you don't know some of those guys you don't know what they're going to do on the field. One, they don't know your system. Two, so regardless if it's Shador's last season or not, that's a non-issue and is a non-factor when it comes to the point of I need a complete team and the right folks in those positions to win a game,
Fact,
regardless if it's Shador's last
fact,
season or not. That shouldn't
fact.
be the
The end all be all.
deciding
The,
factor on whether or not I
the end
put a
all be
certain
all.
person on the field or not.
The end all be all. And what I'm saying is, and what I think Bruss saying is, these guys know what Coach Prime looking for. Now we gotta bank on these other kids coming in here and like everybody else that came in buying into what they selling.
All right, hold on.
Like
Hey, Coach K, explain what you're saying, so we can get clarification. Because I just want to make sure we all on the same
What
page.
I'm saying is that I'm not saying that those guys that you guys mentioned can't be in the two deep. I'm not saying that, because obviously you're gonna have a rotation. So I'm not saying they can't be in the two deep. What I'm saying is we cannot rely on these type of guys to be the like de facto linebackers going into the next season. We cannot rely on these guys to be the starting linebackers going into next season. Now,
I have to agree
Bet-
with that.
Bentley,
Hold
Clarify
on, let
type
him
of
finish. Let him
guys.
finish. Let him
Clarify
finish.
type of guys.
when
Let him
okay,
finish.
when I say type of guys, I mean like Kofi, I mean Victory. Like, yes, I'm not saying that they can't work their
You're
way into
just
the two
saying
deep.
names. You're
Hold on,
not
hold on. Let him
clarifying
Oh,
type of
let
guys.
him finish. Let him finish.
by
Go
type of
go ahead,
guys,
Coach.
I mean guys with no experience. Is that what you want me to say? Guys with no experience under their belt? Does that like give you a better clarification on what I mean by those guys who
Yeah,
have not
yeah,
been out there?
Yeah. A whole bunch of the guys we
yeah.
just
Because
got
otherwise, you're
A
just
whole
saying
we
bunch of
got
names.
fresh
down.
guys, just practice guys. You want to just put those guys out and just be like, hey, well, you did good in practice, so you probably gonna do good in the game. Yeah.
Not gonna be effective in the game.
Okay. So go finish your point. I'm just trying to get
What I'm
clarification
saying is
for
that
everybody.
like someone said in the comments, DJ Lundy, the linebacker from Florida State, like those type of guys with experience, guys who have played in big games, big moments, who you can plug and play like that. Those are guys that like I'm gonna bank on. I'm gonna bank on guys who have been there and done that. I'm not banking on a kid who I'm developing to hopefully one day, be able to put out there in that position. I'm gonna bank on someone who I know has been in that position, and that's why I think you're gonna see a lot of older linebackers. If we go get some older linebackers, or I mean, if we go get any linebackers, they'll be older linebackers. They won't be like freshmen, redshirt sophomores. Like you'll see a lot of older linebackers.
So you saying you want guys with game film, with game film and game experience to be starting? That's what you're saying?
I want quality starters. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, can I say this when we speaking about linebackers, right? So we already went under the pressure. We already under pressure. We already know that the fact that we have a problem with that situation. And that situation haven't been addressed yet. So we already know that Coach Pryor already know that too. So we know he's gonna address that real soon, right, Rob?
But old school, to that point, right? How do y'all really know what the freshmen look like if you ain't never seen them on the field?
Hey, man, ain't too many freshmen gonna be coming in and playing that position.
But here, old school, peep gang, listen to what they did last year, right? They already had a veteran group of linebackers there, right? So what they decided to do was, we're not going to play none of the freshmen. We're just going to get them in here, get them on our weight program. We're going to slow down their process, because this is traditional like development of how freshmen come into college. That's what they did with the linebacking group. It's not normal for freshmen to come in and play right off the rip. It's just, that's not normal. You go through your development stage, year 2, now they start to put you out there and let's see what we got.
Right.
And so
then you gotta work your way up. Then you gotta work your way up. So you got what, 2-3 more years to work your way up. There you go. I understand that now.
Right.
But then when you get and then when you get to the point, Rob, this is my point though. Our linebacker crew was weak and ineffective at best. And the players that we did have in that position wasn't, to a certain extent, was in the doghouse. So they playing time was limited. But what I'm saying is, I'm already knowing what Coach Prime is going to do. That's going to be addressed. It hasn't been addressed yet. And you thinking that it's being addressed, it's like it's already been addressed, and it's the new guys that's coming in that haven't played last year. That ain't the answer to that question, bro. I don't think it is.
Okay.
I
think I understand what you're saying.
It's just like you said, Rob. He gonna get at least 2 more that's coming in, and I'm thinking of what you saying. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I've never said don't take anybody else, right? What I'm saying is, if you're not gonna put what we have out there on the field, how are you ever gonna know what it really is? That's what I'm saying.
Again, they can be in the 2 deep. I'm not saying they can't be in the, because once you crack the 2 deep, you'll see some time, and you'll see some time gradually. It won't be, you probably won't be out there, let's just say 75% of the snaps, but you'll be out there enough to where you gain that experience gradually. You don't just get tossed into it and then boom. So like I said, I'm okay with them being in the 2 deep. If Victory Johnson that he cracked the 2 deep,
that's what I was going to ask you, Coach.
I'm not mad.
If we go into the spring, let's just say we go into the spring, and let's just say we get the kid DJ from LJ from Florida State, and all I'm asking you is, if Victory Johnson or Barry show you that they're on that level, I'm not saying that they're him, but they're showing you that they're on that level, just tell me, what are we doing?
Put them in the 2 deep.
Why can't they start?
I mean, listen. If you bring in, let's just say we bring in veteran type, linebackers, and they beat them out, and the better man wins the job. All I'm saying is that when you're playing
that's all I need to know, that you with that.
Let me finish this.
So here's my question.
Go ahead.
Let him finish.
Here's my question, because here's where I think a lot of people make this mistake is. People say we haven't seen it at practice. They didn't put none of the freshman linebackers on film at practice for a reason. So what I'm saying is, if a freshman, redshirt freshman, right? He's been in college for a year now, right? And he's matching up and doing the same things in practice as this guy we bringing in. Why can't he start with him?
Let me ask you this question. Now, let's just say hypothetically that the guys that you guys are speaking of are as advertised. Why didn't we see them in enough action this year? I mean, there's no excuse. Watch this. There's no excuse. There's really no excuse.
It's not an excuse. They had a plan that they wasn't going to play none of the freshman linebackers. They redshirted them. they was never going to play the freshman linebackers. What is so wrong with them not playing the freshman linebackers last year? That's what I don't get. Like, there's a plan in place, and because the
I
plan in
think
place
I get
doesn't
what
align with
I think I get what he's saying, Rob. He's saying for what we saying that they're as good or as advertised with the linebacker play that we had going on, why we didn't see him last year. And what Rob trying to tell you is we gave Coach Prime gave all like he had, like the room was full. The room was too full. Like, okay, you in one tell you they made Trevor Woods a linebacker. They brought him down from safety. So that tells you just how inept we were at the linebacker position. So that also tells you that they did have a plan because again, you could have put them kids in there. But if you don't have a front four up there blocking for them, you ain't gonna be able to see what these kids can really do. Like,
Let me
let's be for.
okay.
Go ahead, Papa. Go ahead.
Let
No,
me
you
give
go ahead.
let me give you a beautiful comparison that we've seen, right?
Go
So
ahead.
when our starting center Van Wells went down, now let's just say I'm giving you guys a comparison. Imagine if they would have shifted over certain people. Like let's just say they would have shifted everything over. Let's just say Landon Meeby would have went to center. Let's just say somebody would like Savion or somebody would have slid over and then Kareem Harden would have slid in there. But what did we see? We saw a true freshman, Tyler Zelinskis, come in right away, right? Now,
Hank. Yeah.
yes, Hank Zelinskis. So now for the linebacking core, what did we do? Now, we did something weird. We brought down the safety down and we left Rod Ward start there, right? Instead of bringing in an additional linebacker when you would think, a team who struggles against the run, you want to have as many, run stoppers as you can. I saw Trevor Woods out there at linebacker. I want to know what did you guys see with him at linebacker because it was bad. It was
Oh,
So,
I'm
it was
so Coach
bad.
K. So let me explain something to you, right? I love your example. Let's just say it. I love your example of what you're trying to do, right? Do it make sense to burn a year coming in half the season, then put Trevor Woods, who already's been playing?
Burn a year, you get 4 games to redshirt. You can play 4 games.
I get what you're saying, but they were not going to burn the freshmen in that situation because he played more than 4 games at linebacker. Am I right or am I wrong?
Who?
Trevor Woods.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay,
No, wait, what?
so
Three games, I think. Last 3 games.
he played more than 3, but
Okay.
they wasn't going to burn the because they already had this planned out. This what I'm saying to you is they already had this planned out that they wasn't going to play the freshman, right? And so I get what you're saying is if you were going to move Trevor Woods down there and play him at linebacker, why not put the freshman in? That makes total sense. But they already had a plan in place that they wasn't going to do that. Versus if you look at the offensive line,
depth. We had
it,
what else was you gonna do? That's
yeah,
what I was gonna tell you, Coach. What else was we gonna do?
Here's my
Like,
problem. Where does this philosophy come from that we were just not going to play the freshman linebackers? Is that like
when
a Coach Hart thing?
I don't know. I mean, Coach Hart. Me following him, he does like to develop. He doesn't. If his room is full of veterans, he gonna try to get them veterans ready and play them and try to develop the men behind him. That's always been his thing. If you
he,
go back and
yeah,
watch him, but my thing
he's
is the linebacker room was full. Like you had a bunch of veterans. He just kept rotating them in, trying to figure out if he could find a system because you only really needed what was it, 2 of them? It was only 2 of them. I know he had at least 6 veterans on the team, so he gave everybody the opportunity. That's the way I looked at it. I don't know how anybody else looked at it, but that's the
but
way Coach looked at it. You get what I'm saying?
Chris,
On the
yeah,
offensive line wise, we didn't have that kind of depth by no stretch of the imagination. So yeah, we could end up everything you said. We end up doing right, Coach. Like we end up moving BB to center, putting all that end up happening because we
Yeah,
didn't have any depth.
They
hey
had
Coach,
13 2-3 year linebackers and 6 freshmen.
Hey, Coach K, here's all I'm saying. If you follow the pattern of what Coach Hart has done from Jackson State to Colorado, he's ran the same plan. His freshmen have not touched the field at linebacker. He has always played his upperclassman linebacker and let the freshman groom itself and play them. He's always done this. And so that's why I'm saying there was a plan in place because if you're going off the patterns of what you see this position coach do, that's what he does. It's always about development versus just throwing them out there. And so now you're going to see as things go on, and this is why I'm saying when these linebackers do go out there, now you can really evaluate if players are being developed or not based upon these players got redshirted. And so now if they go out there and they flash, now you can see the growth of the program. Now you can see the growth of what they really trying to do, because everybody was so big on Coach Prime ain't developing, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, but y'all not really paying attention to what's really going on. So now this is a year where you can say, all right, cool, who is being developed? Can we see growth? And that's all this is about. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand in that situation.
Okay. Now I see
And
the
I think they physically
now I see
they
the
physically gonna be
lens.
bigger too.
I see the
And we're
lens
only
in
talking
which
about two or three linebackers, right? Two or three
Hold on,
freshmen
hold on.
out of
Go
the
ahead, Coach
bunch.
K. Go ahead, Coach K.
I see the lens that you're looking at now. I see through the lens that you want people to see development in Coach Prime. First of all, you don't
It's not
even
about Coach Prime, it's about Coach Hart in the situation because it's his
okay, but
prime.
look, let's just because it's Coach Prime's team, so they're gonna judge him off of any, like they're gonna judge him off of anything that happens, good, negative, anything. So let's just say like Cormani for a perfect example. Now that's a good player that that you can show throughout his sophomore year and junior year, as a developmental piece. Someone who he can show that he can develop. It doesn't necessarily have to come from the linebacking room. Like there's other areas where he can show, hey, we developed this, we developed this. You know what I mean? Like it's not really. It don't have. I get what you're saying, about the linebackers, but I'm saying it doesn't have to come from like that point of view of the linebackers.
It doesn't. I just use the linebackers as an example because that was one of the areas of like deficiencies of the team last year outside of the line play. But some of the
I mean,
line,
hold on, Rob. Let's call it what it is. It's the place where people saying that he hired his homeboys and they're not being developed. Like, I mean, national media and a lot of people are saying, hey, well, Hart ain't developing kids and Mathis ain't developing kids. And so, I mean, that's where I think a lot of that comes from. A lot of, I think when we talk about the linebackers and sometimes when we talk about the corners, because a lot of people feel like, he is bringing them boys along for the ride. You get what I'm saying? And they not really coaching or developing kids. So you can see what we saying there. That's what I think that's where it's coming from, Coach. And then also, like you just brought up Kamani, but when Kamani start doing the little things, we know Kamani can play football, but once Kamani start doing the little things that Coach Prime was asking him to do, the little things to make it better, that's when you saw Kamani start to develop. So we do expect him to make a bigger jump this year because he's seeing that what it's gonna take to get to where you trying to go. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's for I think that's for
Agreed.
everybody.
Agreed. Agreed.
And then you gotta understand, people gotta understand Prime, especially when it comes to them DBs in the corners and they drills and they fundamentals. This Prime is a old, like he keeps saying, he old school. So he got them kids doing drills and techniques that they use coming up. You know what I mean? Mixed in with a little, new techniques here and there, but he might not agree to the way that some of these newer age coaches that will teach their D backs. You know what I mean? They teach their DBs and stuff like that. The drill, the hand, the feet work. You might not agree with the 2 step or the what I mean, the certain little drop backs and stuff like that. So people gotta look into that, man. It's all about fit.
I agree.
Well,
Uh-oh.
Cormani's another situation. I mean, if y'all want to talk, y'all want to y'all want to talk about that's the situation that honestly I'm disappointed that that uh that Coach Prime went against his better judgment and even playing him, because he knew deep in his heart, as like most people knew. If you follow the sport, if college football, 5-star DBs, like yes, it has a nice ring to it, but it doesn't mean much when you're a freshman, especially if you come in as late as he did. I think Cormani came, bro. I want to say he came. I think a week before fall camp. I think
No,
like
2 weeks. It was about 2 weeks before fall camp
2 weeks.
when he about 2 weeks. Yeah,
He should have never seen that field. Never.
that's
He
how.
should. Never
I
even
ain't gonna
saw
say
that.
never. Maybe later in the season or something like that.
Yeah,
But
I think it was gonna be hard to say never, coach.
yeah.
It's hard to
And
say
then you can't
never.
say never when you got the other freshman Stoudemire out there playing. That's one of the main things that created a lot of the ruckus. You know what I mean? It wasn't gonna look right if you got one freshman out there getting PT and not another.
But it's
The
different
main big
because
guy.
you have to look at context. Context is Stoudemire. Stoudemire was an early enrollee, right? He came in.
No, he
He
came in
came
the
No,
in.
summertime.
he can't. He just came in at the beginning of the summer. He was
He
there
came in
right
the
at the
beginning.
beginning. Yeah, the
But
beginning of the summer. Yes, sir.
he had the whole like workout. He was able to work out, right? He was able to
Yeah,
come on
yeah.
the
I,
field.
I agree. I agree.
I'll
Cormani
say
didn't even
I'll
do
say
that.
here's the biggest difference, right? When y'all start comparing players, right? When you look at a Carter Stoudemire, he was raised in an NFL home because his dad played in the NFL. So he's gonna have some ins and outs that a lot of kids don't have when it comes to studying how to really watch film, how to break down film, how to break down techniques and habits and create great habits, right? Then you go and you take another player where he just been a man on his team and he hasn't had to be disciplined or do X, Y, Z because he's always been a man. And
And
so
then
when you
y'all got. Then what I also want y'all to understand is Kermani. So this was probably actually Kermani's third year playing corner, full time, because he was what he came to high school to be was a receiver. When he transferred, and then his temporary year at Lake Gibson, they moved him to cornerback. Then he transferred to Lakeland, and then that's when he really became, what we see now in Kermani McLean. So but what I'm gonna tell you, Coach Kevin, I agree with you to the point where I wouldn't, but I just want to never say never. I didn't. I think maybe 5 games in, I think he would have got he would have been ready, but it was the little stuff that was holding Cremani back. It really wasn't the big stuff. I don't think it was the football stuff because even when you watch the well off videos when he was going in 101s, you saw that he had it, and then he did tweak his hamstring, which I'm not making no excuses for nobody, but he did tweak his hamstring, and I think that held him up just that slowed him down even a little bit more. But he just at the end of the day, what I'm telling you is he Kamani is my prime example for what Coach Prime showed you. When you buy into my system and you do things that I'm asking you to do, the little things, not the big things, to be on time, to make sure you're doing this, to make sure you're doing that. That stuff translates into all the bigger stuff. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
of
Coach?
course. Yeah,
That
Komani has all the first of all, when people, when you say that he, hasn't been playing corner for a long time, and it's crazy that he became a 5-star corner, is because if you look at his intangibles, if you look at how he's built, his frame, he has all the makings of a great corner. He has all the
Amen.
he has the body
Amen.
he has the body of Sauce Gardner, the corner, from the Jets, the one that everybody loves, came out of Cincinnati. He has that frame. He has Sauce's frame, and like y'all just said, it's the little things, the mental part of the game, the preparation, the attention to detail, little things like that, like Rob just alluded to. He takes
And
care
then
of
the
that. He's
big
all
And
right.
what
then
I
and
like.
then I
Oh,
think a
go ahead.
lot of that was mental. With a lot of that was just mental out there with Kamani.
if
You know what I
y'all,
mean? Maybe a little bit of
I'm
fundamentals
gonna
here
say
and there, but
this.
it was a lot of that was mental, man. He had a lot. He had a lot going on.
I think Coach Prime would have played Cormani later in the season if it wasn't the media and all these people just kept asking for Cormani day in, day out. And there was nothing wrong with Cooper on the field. There was nothing wrong with Travis on the field. But once Travis
well,
went
one
down,
Travis when Travis got
that's
hurt, I think he
when that's
speeded
what
it up.
heated that's what sped everything and heated everything up. And that's when like, all right, I gotta let him he gotta play now because now Travis down. If Travis stays healthy with Cooper, I don't think that Komani, because I was the first person on record on camera that says Komani ain't gonna play like y'all think he is at the beginning of the season. He's gonna probably not. He probably not gonna play the first couple games, and I was getting bashed for like crazy. It's because I knew what was going on, and as a true freshman, the adjustments to college football is major. Like from high school to going into the college field, it's major. The little things that you got to do to get your body right, to have your be on the right mindset, to make sure that you understand that like the class and how all that stuff break down. Like it's a bunch of stuff that plays in being a college football player that a lot of people don't think about. All you see is a 5-star talent and say he has to play because he's a 5-star. Why would he pick
Right,
this school
right,
if he wasn't a
right,
5-star? And that's where
right,
the problem started at.
right,
And
right.
soon as Travis got hurt, now it went back to, well, Kamani gotta play. He gotta play because Travis ain't out there, and it forced Coach Prime hand to put him out there when he wasn't ready to put him out there because he still was waiting for Kamani to do these certain things that he wanted to see out of Kamani. And that
And
was
that,
it.
and,
That's why I
go ahead.
said I wish that he never went against his better judgment because his Coach Prom's true instinct and better judgment told him when everybody was calling for Kamani, his true instinct said no, he's not ready, and if you put him out here, the risk reward ratio wouldn't match. You know what I mean? You're just
But oh yeah, I forgot. Also, Carter Stoudemire got hurt too. So Carter Stoudemire and Travis went down. So it forced him to have to play him. Or you would see
Right.
Breedlove.
And Jaquez was hurt.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think a lot of things forced your hand to play Cremoni. But that's the same
Yeah.
thing. That's the same thing
Remember
we're
they
gonna
was
see.
even
Check this out. But this
they was
the
even
biggest
putting the
thing.
gimpy Travis J out there in that
Listen,
Oregon game.
listen,
They didn't want to put
listen.
play Travis J, but they ain't had no choice.
But listen at this. So we gonna say the same thing about Tennessee, right? We just saw that they signed Boo Carter, right? All of a sudden now you see Tennessee guys jumping in the portal. A kid that started at cornerback or safety, he jumps in the portal because he thinks that his job is at stake because I signed Boo Carter and they expect the kid to play. But that's just us. As coaches, you got to understand that you got to develop these kids and make these kids ready. And if they're not ready, you can't put them out there. And that's why I like Coach Prime, because if we go back to the first documentary that was on Prime with him and Travis Hunter begged him to play in that FSU game. I mean, in that Florida A&M game, that first game. And he let him play, but he knew the kid wasn't healthy. But he just know the kid wanted to be out there because he wanted to show everybody that the trust and the respect that and all the gratitude he had for Coach Prime bringing him and having the courage in him. But he wasn't healthy, and so then Coach Prime sat him down. So you want those kind of. If I'm a parent, I want that kind of guy coaching my kid. The same thing finna happen with Jordan Seaton, guys. Like let's let the kid. I know we think he a day one starter. I do too. But if he ain't a day one starter, I'm not gonna be mad. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be
Me
upset
neither.
if he's not a day one starter. I think he's a day one starter, but I'm not gonna be upset if George C if he's not out there, if they're not running him out their first team at the beginning of the year. I'm not gonna be
And
to
upset.
remember
be
I
fair,
said that, coach. Remember
to
I said
be
when
fair,
we were talking about the starting lineup, I didn't have Jordan Season starting. I thought he should sit by now and let one of them guys he brought in through the transfer portal, one of them older guys,
to be
get the
fair,
opportunity to start and let
to
him
be
grow
fair,
and watch.
that's a different. Wait, hold on. See, all right. I get. See, everybody's the same, but everybody's not built the same. See, Jordan Seaton, that's a much different conversation because I mean, y'all. I don't know if y'all seen like much of his high school
Bro,
film and stuff like that.
he from right down here, bro. I
That
don't
is
seen I
that
don't
is a
seen him up
man.
close.
That is a man playing against
Hey,
little
listen, and
boys.
listen, and then on top of that, I hope people don't sleep on this center that they got from IMG. This kid is a real football
Cash.
player. He is a real football player. I really want y'all to understand that this kid is a real football player. He's not coming here to sit second hand to nobody. He finna come in here and want to play. He is a real
Cash played
football
six
player.
A. He
Yeah, I
played
like
six
Cash,
A
bro.
Texas football for 3 years. Nobody even like really knows that he played in the highest level of football in Texas for 3 years before he went to IMG. He's a
Yeah, I
stud.
like Cash.
You talking about Cash? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Listen. I hope people not sleeping on this kid. This kid is a real football player. Go turn his film on, man. But when you turn on his film, because when I turned on his film, the one thing you like what you were saying is Jordan Seaton pop out on here on it's Cash film, but Jordan Seaton pops out on that film as
You
well.
can't help to look at him.
You
You
can't
can't
help
help
but
to,
you can't help but see him. You can't help but see him.
Well, I mean,
You get what
it
I'm saying?
won't. I won't be mad if he start or if he don't start off the rip. I can understand why he wouldn't start because he's a freshman. But if he do start, I can understand why he do start because he's the number one overall recruit.
this is another Caden Proctor situation at Bama where he's gonna start off rip. and they're gonna let him sink or
I was
swim.
going to ask you, did Caden Proctor start this year? Did he
Yeah,
start
yeah,
he
Yeah.
yeah. He
started the
started.
first game?
Uh huh.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't watch it.
He
I mean,
struggled.
I didn't watch
He
Bama like
struggled.
that.
He struggled. I'll be honest. He struggled, but at the same time, you let him go through the growing pains, and now Caden Proctor is looking like a monster out there right now. So
And then
Yeah,
let's be
yeah,
honest though,
Cash.
fellas.
Hold on,
What
Cash.
what what's the
Hold
biggest
on, hold
threat
on, hold
in
on,
the
Big
Big
LT.
12 to Big
Hold on,
12 to him?
hold on, Big LT. Yes, we're talking about
Okay.
Cash Cleveland. Yes, that's who we're talking about. That played that just committed to CU. He played at IMG with Seiden. He was the starting center for IMG. So that's what we're talking about. Cash
Hold
Cleveland.
on. Hey, you got to say this, Rob, for the A team, because IMG got two teams. He was the starting center for the A team, for the big dog team, not the second rate team. He was starting right with Jordan Seaton on the A team, because IMG got two teams. They got a team that play in the normal high school rankings, and then they got a team that plays nationally. That all they do is go around and play the best team. So he played on that team.
yeah,
Who
man.
gonna be
Shout,
next to
shout out to
Seaton?
Cash. Shout out to Cash for being some people gonna say our only white recruit. That shit funny as hell.
He
Shout
better.
out to
This ain't no knock. This ain't no lock on what's called. He better than the other kid that went to Missouri.
who? Talon.
He
Chandler.
he better than that kid,
I don't know about that.
huh?
Hey, and that's a very
Uh,
underrated signee, man, by
I
them
don't
grabbing
know,
that kid
man.
from
Talon.
Cash, man. People don't
I,
understand, man. That's a very underrated signee, man, and that tells you he
Hey,
wants to go
hey,
over there with them.
you better go turn that tape on and rewatch that again, dog.
listen,
Listen,
listen, listen, listen.
listen. There's no knock on Tyler. I like the kid, but this kid, Cash,
Hey, but see,
I
here's the thing though. What do you when you look at IMG's film and Cash and who he's playing against versus the competition Tyler Chandler's playing against, it's a different story. You gotta go turn that tape
Don't
on and
forget Tyler Chandler
you gotta
playing in
evaluate who they
Colorado,
play against
man.
too.
and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying, Coach. Like when I evaluate kids like that, Coach, that's what I look at. What I'm telling you is, if I put Tyler in that IMG system in that line, do he look like he look when he playing against what he play against? You get what I'm saying? I know if I put Cash, if Cash and Tyler switch, it ain't no drop off. But I don't know if Tyler can do what Cash did. You get what I'm saying? I just don't know. I'm not
It
like I
ain't
said. It
gonna be
ain't.
no drop off, coach. It's gonna look. Cash gonna be looking like how Seaton be looking.
But that's what I'm saying, Coach. And it might not look that same way for Tyler if he go to IMG. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, I done went to a lot of camps and kids are 4 stars and 5 stars, and them 4 stars and 5 stars start getting handled. They take them out of the rotation. They take them out of the drill because you can't afford for them kids to look bad. You get what I'm saying, bro? So, like I say, there's no
I
knock
get
on
you. I
Tyler.
get you, brother. But hey, listen. I was a little I wasn't too upset, but I was a little, like damn, like like Talon was gonna be, someone that like you could kind of build on, for the future with that young line, But I mean, hey, we'll see,
And,
man.
and talent can still come.
Nah,
He can still come. But that was well not no more since he signed. But that was on him.
Hey,
That was on him and his people.
Big LT, just because a player signed, they can't they can't ask for release and sign somewhere else on National Signing Day.
oh,
We didn't see that picture play out before.
Well,
yeah, that's
that was
happened.
on
I'm
him. That
not
was
saying.
on him, man. He
Listen,
wanted to go over there.
Let me clarify this because I don't want nobody to take this wrong. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
please
somebody.
clarify for him.
Yeah, I'm not saying somebody's going to ask for a release. I'm saying players can still ask for a release just because they signed these 3 days. Stuff can go wrong, and these teams can bring in players to their position. They can go in and ask for a release and sign with a different school on February 7th. So don't get it twisted like it's over. It ain't over because if anything goes wrong between now and February 7th, they can ask for a release and sign with a different school.
But that's not for the kids that enroll in the school. If they enroll in the school, then that'll be considered their transfer now. I want y'all to understand that. So like the kids that enroll early, if they try to get out, it's gonna be considered their transfer. They will be considered their
Also,
transfer.
that's rare. That's rare. Just for it happens,
Oh
but
yeah, it's
it's
very real
rare.
now. We ain't
That's like
saying yeah,
that's
it's very
real
real.
rare.
I mean, the boy that Rashada who did it from Florida last year, that was the first time I had seen it in a long time. You get what I'm saying? That's the first time I had seen it
That's
in a long time.
that's
You get what I'm
that's
saying?
like
It's very real.
Yeah, that's like something happens like that. You like probably think. Well, the first thing you think about is money. If something like that happens, probably something wasn't promised usually. But yeah, it's real.
Hey, listen, if you guys can't find Cash Cleveland's like film, all you gotta do is pull up Jordan Seaton. You gonna see Cash. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna see
Just
him. Like you ain't gonna miss him. You gonna see him. You gonna see the center. Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, if you don't see his film, all you gotta go do look up Jordan Seaton's film. You're gonna see him pop off that screen.
And I guarantee you that to a lot of them media guys and recruiters, that was a head scratcher right there. They can't believe that.
I don't know, man, cause he wasn't really highly recruited, in high school for whatever reason. Um,
Old old school.
Exactly, because that's a back that's called a back pocket tuck. You tuck that in, but don't you don't even supposed to be highly recruited. One of them big guys supposed to come through there and swoop them up, put them in their back pocket. Don't nobody talk about. They
Old school,
surprised
come
that
on right
he
quick.
picked Prime out of Tennessee and Tech.
Old school, come on right quick. The people want to hear you before I end the live. So come on up, old
he
school.
took he took he took a potential walk-on spot other than a scholarship, because I think Virginia Tech offered him a scholarship, and he took the PWO for Colorado, which
He's
is
gonna listen. He's gonna end up being a scholarship player. Don't worry.
no, but that's crazy though. I mean, like, when you think about that, either one, you really, 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 really have some serious faith in that coaching staff to like develop you, and or you're like, that, or that school was just your dream school, because that's usually something pretty rare.
How y'all feel about that offensive line, like that line group right there? How y'all feel about it?
Who? Benson, right? Tyler Johnson. I would move Tyler Johnson to left guard. I would
I
move
think
Tyler
that
Johnson. Wait,
Savion
that's
Washington
what I'm
fell out of
saying.
everybody's stuff, huh?
You wait, hold on, hold on. You know what's so crazy, and like I don't think people want to hear this. Like, Savion, listen, Pro Football Focus is not like the end all be all. It's not the end all be all, but he graded higher than Khalil Benson, and he was playing hurt. So, you feel me? But hey, take that however you want with a grain of salt. Center Tyler Brown.
I just don't know. Ain't nobody rocking with Savion. That's
You know
all I'm
what's
saying.
crazy? You know what's so crazy is that people automatically think that like center Tyler Brown. Listen, I know the UConn kid Walker. I know he's like 275 pounds soaking wet, but usually when you have undersized centers, they do a really, really, really good job of getting their hand back and being able to get up to that second level. Like, not trying to just throw comparisons out there, but Travis Kelsey, they call. I mean, not Travis. What was what's the brother's name? Jason Kelsey. Yeah, Jason Kelsey. They said he was undersized, and everybody in the world called him undersized. And those undersized centers, they get up to that second level really, really fast. So
I
just
think what a lot of people forget about is like we got depth at like the offensive line now, because people forget about David Connor, which is he's come back off an injury, right? People, we still got Savion that's gonna be there, So you know, we're too deep right now. I'm gonna say we're too deep
you
with a
ain't mentioned the other
possibility of
guys.
working on a third deep.
Don't
At,
don't we
at,
don't we still got Jack Wilsey and Landon Beebe?
yeah, we still got them,
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, they ain't not seeing the field unless it's
but
special teams.
you still got Hank that's still there. He's still there. Uh, so there's gonna be a push, man. There's gonna be a push. I can tell you that.
A push at
Who
what?
was that other kid that was at tackle?
Like,
Is
so,
he
like
gone?
when it comes to like the offensive line, there's gonna be some fights going
With
on with like
guards
who
at the
start.
guard spots, yes. At the guard spots, yes. At the tackle
There's
spot, no.
there's gonna be some fights. There's gonna be some fights at the tackle spot. I don't think it's gonna go.
We don't have that many tackles.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I
We
think
only
we got
got
four.
we only have
If we got
look,
4 or 5.
Savion, Khalil, Jordan, and
David Connor could play tackle.
Tackle.
We should have another commitment that's gonna be a tackle too.
I was about to
So
say
Is it
because I thought we only had like 3.
is the other kid whose name start with an H? He was a tackle, wasn't he? Was it
Yeah, we
Harden?
got more than David Conner could definitely play tackle. We got Harden can play tackle. I mean, our offensive line is more versatile.
Bro, stop
in sense.
calling me Darius, bro. I'm not reached the people. Yo, why they keep
Kareem
calling
Harden, yeah.
You do,
yeah.
you do sound
Nah, he not.
right.
That's not Darius, man.
Bro, they keep
Yeah,
calling
it's
me
not Darius.
Darius, bro. I am not reached the people.
You sound like Darius though.
Sound like him, but the accent definitely East Coast.
Oh,
Right.
someone said Ruben Uniche. Bro, I don't know what he's doing. He hasn't committed to anybody. He said he's taking his
Ain't that
time.
the boy that got caught with the weed and the gun in the background?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
They talking about Ruben.
I
He's
ain't even gonna say his name.
from Houston. He's the tackle. Yeah.
So is that what preventing him from coming?
Who?
The tackle from A-Shine.
No, he ain't getting in trouble with nothing. He enjoying his time, man. You know, chilling, and he gonna make a decision when he make it, man. Ain't no pressure, man. If he come, he come. If you don't, I mean, honestly,
But how you going live and you got this stuff in your background, man? You tripping, man.
You talking about two different dudes?
First of all, it's
talking about two
Texas.
different people.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's Texas too. I want everybody to realize that, bro. Everybody packing in Texas. I don't know why everybody acting surprised.
No, so that's why I'm saying if it was a kid that was in Texas, then understandable. But at the same time, bro, you don't have it out in the open, man. When you got phone calls coming through live.
It ain't that big a deal in Texas, though.
Okay.
I know that.
Texas.
Come on, bro. I'm in Dallas. I'm in the Grove right now as I speak.
I guess because
got
it's so
plenty of
low, you know
guns.
what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody in Texas, like, you're not thinking, oh, shoot, I got to put this up because, and it ain't like it was like, you know.
Hey, yo, somebody said
I
I have my
listen.
text to me right now.
Listen, man, these kids make decisions every day, and you gotta think about it when you use that age. What were you doing?
Right.
Did you make
They probably wasn't expecting that phone call.
Who going through that man video like just to find that, bro? That's what tripped me out. Like, y'all
because I didn't
trying
see
to
it.
pick this out of the video. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see it until somebody said something about it.
Big LT, it ain't even worth talking about, dog. It ain't. Just let it
Facts.
be. Let it be, man. But here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do a live tomorrow at some point. I'm gonna do a Christmas Day live for you guys. We're just gonna keep this train rolling into the new year. I might have an interview or two next week for y'all, so we'll see. Working on some things, working on another show to bring to you guys. So y'all stay tuned. Appreciate everybody that sent the donation today to the channel. I know I didn't get a chance to shout y'all out, but appreciate for those who sent something to the channel, man. It's always love and always appreciate it for all the donations you guys send, man. With that being said, man, I'm signing out for the day. See you guys in the next one.
Now let me tell y'all something about dreams. Listen up, because this is something I found out a long time ago that goes against everything you see in a movie, on TV, or what your great grandma may have told you when you were a kid. See, dreams don't happen overnight. That ain't how it works. See, they come to you in the daylight. You gots to be awake. Cause baby, you got to run dreams down. See, that chase is where we learn the most about ourselves. To take that extra step, that extra mile, that extra rep. Now look here. You don't never know how long it's gonna take or exactly what it'll look like when you get there. The only thing you know is you can never stop. So, question time. What's your dreams? What's your dream? Are you willing to do what it takes to make that dream a reality? No. See, not while you're sleeping, but every darn day you wake up. Because if it does, good morning. Now give me